Hey guys, this is Seven, and we have Ray Lago. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, thank you. This,
So, so we're here live
yes, we're here live. Oh, so this is
at
the live.
FANFAIRE.
Oh, great, it's live. Wonderful. That's always good to know. Always good to know. Yeah, yes, at the wonderful High School of Art and Design in New York. Yeah.
Ray Lago, you are an artist
Yes.
and a teacher.
Yes.
How do you have time to do both? Let's start with there before we get into everything.
And actually, it's if you decide to become a teacher, I'm an
Right,
adjunct.
right,
I'm an
right.
adjunct instructor at FIT, Fashion
Okay.
Institute of Technology. And yeah, if you decide to become a part-time teacher, which is what that is,
Okay.
it absolutely affects how much work you can do in the studio. Absolutely.
Wow.
You can't do as much as
Okay.
an artist if you're teaching. So at the point that you decide to do that, you realize you're going to do less commissioned work. But that I think, first of all, you only become a teacher if you like teaching. If you don't like teaching, you shouldn't be a teacher.
Okay.
The paycheck is good, but it's not fabulous. So
Okay.
anyone who teaches should really like teaching. And not everyone's cut out for teaching. So if you don't like imparting knowledge, sharing what you do with other students, and if you don't, I don't want to use words like joy because it sounds too holiday-ish, but if you
Right.
don't actually enjoy seeing what
Right.
young people
Oh.
produce, what young people produce,
Right.
you shouldn't be teaching. So,
Right.
so you come to a point in your life, your career, where you decide you want to share, and you get paid for sharing. I don't generally teach for free except portfolio reviews and things like that.
Right.
People come to shows and just show you something. It's a job.
Now-
But it does make me appreciate my time at the studio more.
Okay.
Like when I'm not teaching, I am happy to be home in my studio working. So I don't go through the doldrums of people, and myself included, that when all you're doing is, let's say, freelance illustration, day after day after day, you never leave your studio.
What were you doing in the industry before you became?
Okay, well,
a teacher?
before I became a teacher, and what I still do on occasion is I mostly do work in full color. I've done pen and ink work also, but usually comic book or fantasy related characters, either in comic books, trading cards, gaming cards. So I've worked for trading cards, I've worked for Marvel, DC, Topps Cards, Upper Deck, Fleer, Skybox, all the companies put out all these non-sport cards. No baseball
Now,
players.
do you get to keep all the?
Originals, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Ha-ha!
I get originals, yes.
He's a winner.
And there's a market for them, yes. It's a very healthy market. It's actually it's grown as a healthy market. Same
Right.
is true with the Magic the Gathering gaming cards that I've done
Really?
some of. That market's actually I haven't done those cards in a while,
Right.
and the value of those things has really gone up. A lot of people working in the industry right now, they do it more for the value of selling the originals than they
Okay.
do for the money they get from
Right.
the company, which was not the case when I was doing it. But in addition, I've done covers for comic books and for books. I've done interiors. I have actually done comic book stories, but mostly for anthologies, one-shots, classics illustrated, things like that. I've done a couple of graphic novels. They've
So wait,
been
so
stories.
since you have the originals, you're a very rich man. Like you could
Oh,
literally just cash
no.
out and say,
No.
No.
There are only a handful of guys in the industry, even owning the originals,
Right.
can cash out. First of all, I have sold most of my originals, and rarely do you sell them in a chunk.
You
It's
see,
more
he
like,
did try to cash out.
yeah, no. You get collectors who contact you, sometimes beforehand.
Right.
I've sold stuff before I even did it. Where someone
Oh,
said,
wow.
"What are you working on?" And I said, "Oh, a Predator cover for Dark Horse." They say, "I want that. How much are you going to be asking for that?" I haven't even painted it yet. I
Right.
don't know what I'm going to be asking for it.
Right.
Well, will this be enough? I go, yeah, but I'm not taking the money till it's done because then it's not going to be good for me.
Right.
And so it's happened where I sent a transparency, which is like a large slide before everyone had home scanners, of a Predator cover off to Dark Horse publication, and then I shipped the original to the collector.
Wow.
Before the thing even saw print, the original was already out of my hands and in a collector's hands. So but again, the market's gotten even better. So even though I was paid nicely for the pieces I sold, if I held on to it all, it would be worth more. But not a fortune. That's still just a handful of guys in the entire industry whose work goes for a fortune. That you can cash out that way. Some friends of mine, though, have been smart enough to keep one or two issues of their entire, like an entire issues of some of the popular characters they worked on that are signature things for them, hoping to cash out in the future. What more likely is going to happen is they'll die of a heart attack from all the stress, and their kids will get to sell it, and they'll get to cash out.
So let me ask you this before you go. So I see so many people want more of an explanation. Like I love to draw, or I love to, but break down the different things that people can do. I think a lot of people don't realize the different avenues. Like they don't have to create a comic book. They could end up working for, within fashion, commercial art. Would you just break down different opportunities?
We actually had it here at this wonderful convention. Yesterday we had a panel on this subject.
Oh.
Okay, and I was one of the people on the panel. When I was getting out of college, all I cared about was professional portfolio.
Okay.
I wanted to do illustration. I did do illustration, but I also wound up doing advertising art. I wound up working with television news graphics, learning computer programs that no longer use now, but were at cutting edge back then.
Right.
Going back to doing illustration, doing a little teaching, going back to illustration, working again doing computer graphics, and doing. The thing is, as an artist, you want to learn to draw well, paint, sculpt, design, whatever it is that you enjoy doing. Get really good at it. That way, what's normally called luck is you having the skills to take advantage of opportunities when they come your way. And if you do quality work and you put it out there, some people are going to offer you scams, but there'll be plenty of people who are going to offer you opportunities, genuine opportunities. And if you've got the skills, you've got the portfolio for them to even consider you, you can take advantage of it, and you become a professional.
What are some of the job titles of those opportunities?
Okay.
I'm really talented. I can draw.
No, but what you basically stated right now, there's cartoonists, there's graphic designers, there's advertising design, there's storyboard artists, there's market comprehensive, which is similar and related to storyboards. Of course, there's straight out illustrators, but within illustration, most of the stuff falls under that, like concept illustrators, animators. Toy design is really big these days. People love it. People take our illustration program at FIT. The first 2 years, which is the associates, they take it to get skills. Then they go off to the animation department. They go off to toy design, and almost all of them want to do concept design for movies. And so they want to learn storyboards, and we're bringing more of that stuff into our illustration program to better prepare them, because a lot of them are not going to do for-print illustration. A lot of people want a cartoon. A lot of people want to make graphic novels, and all of that just means getting your skills, learning your craft, and then there's never been more avenues. There's a lot of competition. Thanks, the internet brings both things. Brings you all these great venues, but more competition and international competition. But there's so much, and of course there's art director, designer. There's all these other things you can do. And some people go into sculpture. One guy that was on the panel started as an illustrator, now he does fine art sculpture. And there's plenty of illustrators I knew who do fine art painting on the side. And they want it to be their one thing. Or some people go into painting portraits.
Wow.
Or Western scenes. Western scenes is a big thing with the previous generation. The idea is to get up every day and look at your life and go, I can't wait to do this next thing I'm doing. Rather than, oh God, what time is it? I got to get to the job. Leave that for when you get to your teaching classes. You have 25 faces waiting for you.
Do you have a website or social media where someone says, hey, Mr. Teacher Man, I have a question?
No. First of all, anyone calls me Mr. Teacher Man, I'll kick him out of the class. But no. Basically, I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
And it's RAYLAGO is the name, Ray Lago. And I have a website, raylagoart.com. And there's an email link there also. Some people do ask me questions, not like what you just asked me, and no one calls me Teacher Man. That could be the title of a comic book, if there's only adventure in teaching.
Yeah.
But no, it's, basically people contact me asking, believe it or not, they're asking me, is there an address where they can mail me magic cards to sign, or trading cards to sign, or is the Mysterio painting that I did for last year's Spider-Man set available for sale? It's not, because I sold it.
Here's a resource. Don't limit yourselves.
If I get deluged with emails saying, Teacher Man, you're in trouble. I'm telling you right now.
Do it. Well, thank you so much.
Okay, no, pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you for everyone at SEV Network.
Sure.
I'm Seven. We have Ray Lago. And we are off to enjoy FANFAIRE.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Alrighty.